One question we asked a lot of people, is there a word that comes to mind when you think of our church?
I think of happiness.
Happy time.
Lift us up. Great place to go. Best church around.
Kind of has evolved over the years. When you're young, it was strict, rigid, formal.
You know, back then, you never called people by their first name. If they're elders, they were Mr. or Mrs.
When I first came here, it would be distant because people weren't really friendly, I didn't think.
You just were to be here, and that was what any question about it. On Sunday, you came to church. Of course, I lived out in the country, and part of the time was a little bit of effort, but you expected to come to church on Sunday.
Now it's a lot more welcoming.
Everybody was welcome. Can I include the parsonage? That was an open door. Lutheran, non-Lutherans came all the time, just, in and out.
There were Gottmans, Dravises, and Haneys, all related to one another. And even though their name might not have been one of those, they were related.
We were the outlaws.
But they took us in as one of.
And if they had a reunion, we were always invited.
They're a dedicated group of people who have stayed faithful to the teachings of the church and
always have had a very strong pastor who leads us in the Word.
Very concerned about God's mission of spreading the Word.
Trying to share the love of God with others, mission work.
We have a lot of willing volunteers in this church through the years.
Dedicated, responsibility.
Serving congregation.
Being able to work in different organizations.
Service to others is like the rent you pay for your room here on earth. We're just proud to be part of this congregation.
The people are very caring.
Very caring.
I can remember too, and I don't know why, Albert and Leona Haney. They were Uncle Albert and Aunt Leona. And Albert's dad was Grandpa Haney. No relation. We didn't have grandparents around here. We really didn't know our grandparents that well because we've never lived around them. So that was nice.
I've had some people I've had some disagreements with, but at the end of it, we're done, we're friends. So forgiving, I guess, would be a word that I would use.
Very generous community, very generous congregation. When there's a need, Palmyra is willing to help out.
Very generous, they're very supportive.
In redoing the church, through the kindness and the loyalty of our members, plus the outside, all of that was donated, paid for the whole thing, almost $600,000. We did not have to borrow any money.
Generous. With this wall that we just rebuilt, I just was amazed at how that all came about. And it wasn't just Zion, it was the whole town.
The congregation gave Mother and Dad a new car in 1946.
People, when they birthed her, they brought meat and produce from the garden, so.
When I think of Zion Lutheran Church Palmyra, I think of tradition. It's tradition for the families to bring their kids to the preschool.
I think of our school that was for many years in existence with the upper grades too that went with the church.
Some people might look at tradition and go, they're old school, get up to date with what's going on. I love that we're so traditional. We come in and we feel comfortable. You know what to expect. This is where I find my peace, and it's very comforting for me.
There is a comfort here when you've been coming to the same church all these years, but you don't want it to be too comfortable because you want things to move forward still.
Comfort, security, a good place to be.
It's a very important part of my life. We traveled a lot. We always went to church wherever we were, but it was never like Zion. It was home.
It's like coming home.
Home.
I love it. That's about all I can say. I do.